And Deputy Premier of New South Wales, John Barilaro, has announced that he's going to take up to 4 weeks leave for mental health reasons. His office can confirm he's taking a break to focus on his well-being and mental health. Mr Barilaro told his colleagues of this decision just this afternoon. The leave is effective immediately. So there you go, Matt Canavan, your Nationals colleague really in New South Wales, John Barilaro. He's had a very tumultuous couple of weeks, of course, threatening to walk away from the coalition in New South Wales. I was going to ask you about that tumult anyway, but it's reached another level now. A lot of people calling for him to resign. He's now taking a number of weeks off for mental health reasons. Your response?
Well, look, I wish John all the best. He's a good mate of mine. Yes, he has had a fairly tumultuous couple of weeks. He's been doing his best to fight on behalf of his constituents against some pretty mad planning laws in New South Wales that take away people's property rights. But yes, that has put him under intense scrutiny, and it can be a pretty tough environment at times. So I wish him and his family all the best in the next few weeks, and I do hope we get good outcome, good results for farmers and property owners in New South Wales.
I think the issue that he's based all this on, the koala conservation laws, is a significant issue, and he needed to stand up for it. But it looked like he went way too far by essentially walking out of the coalition and then having to capitulate the following day. And his Liberal colleagues in that cabinet have been pretty unrelenting in their attacks on him since then.
Well, look, I think what's important is the results ultimately. Yes, the process sometimes with the Nationals Party is not pretty, but we have to be effective, and it may not be pretty, but sometimes it's pretty effective. It's pretty effective to bang the drum sometimes and get results. We have to do that from time to time because, frustratingly, you don't get heard otherwise. And we do represent parts of the country that don't necessarily have the numbers, don't necessarily have the number of people as the major cities. But they are so important to our nation in terms of the wealth they provide, the coal resources, the mineral resources, the agricultural output, and we need to fight very hard for them. And that's what John's been doing the last couple of weeks, and his team. That people know about this issue now in a way they didn't 2 weeks ago, Chris, because John has raised it to the national agenda, and it's a national agenda about how green-backed bureaucracies in state governments are getting away with blue murder in country areas by imposing ridiculous regulations that effectively strip people's property rights away without any compensation. It's absolutely unfair for people, and it potentially comes at great economic cost to our nation because it stops people from developing their land and producing more for everybody. OK, just repeating that breaking news. You see it at the bottom of the screen. The New South Wales Deputy Premier, the Nationals leader in New South Wales, John Barilaro, announcing he's taking a number of weeks' mental health leave after a very stressful and dramatic fortnight when he challenged his own government's koala conservation policy, threatened to withdraw his party from the coalition and then backed down, with a lot of Liberal members, including cabinet colleagues, suggesting he should resign from his job. He's taken leave, mental health leave, and we wish him all the best, and we'll see what the political ramifications are in coming days.